Welcome to Season 2 of the Mainly Moonology podcast. I'm Yasmin Boland and I am so delighted that you're here. We have some really amazing episodes coming up for you this new season, and we are kicking off with a guest podcaster called Ayaloo. Before I tell you about Dylan, please let me just say, excuse the noise. I am recording this intro while visiting the Natural History Museum in Washington, D.C. That's a shark on the roof if you're watching this on Facebook. So, our first guest podcaster, I should say inaugural guest podcaster since I'm in the USA and in D.C. where it's all about inaugurations. Dylan is the very first of our guest presenters on the Mainly Moonology podcast. He's a London-based yoga teacher, trainer, and an expert meditation teacher. In this week's episode, he answers some of the pressing questions that people have on meditation, including, how do I know if I'm doing meditation right? How long should I meditate? What is the importance of taking slow, consistent steps in your meditation practice? And also, talking about the fact that meditation isn't about closing your eyes and sleeping or stopping thinking. It's about closing your eyes and waking up to beyond the physical five senses. Meditation's ultimate goal is to connect us to the divine, which has to be a really worthy goal, in my humble opinion. I believe meditation will change your life in ways you won't even recognize, and it's the perfect thing to do every new moon, full moon, quarter moon, any moon. So take it away, Dylan.
Welcome, my name is Dylan Ayaloo. I am Yasmin's friend. She has very kindly and generously invited me to guest and host this podcast. It's an absolute privilege and honor to be here, to be asked by someone like Yasmin, and to be brought into this amazing community. She tells me that you guys have done quite a lot of work on yourself, and you're pretty open, you're connected. Like she teaches about. I mean, obviously she's the expert in Moon and her book Moonology. So I'm privileged and honored to be here and share this this session here or this podcast here on meditation. In case you don't know me or my work, my name is Dylan Ayaloo, and I'm a intuitive mentor, a facilitator of transformation. I've had the privilege and honor of serving literally thousands of people's transformation and healing journey over the last 15 or so years, globally and mostly over the internet. So my reach has grown, which I'm very grateful for. And in the UK, I've built my name, and I'm known as a trainer of yoga teachers. I teach meditation. So there's various modalities that I bring in, and the work that I do culminates, in my gateway program called Awaken. So in Awaken, meditation is a big part of it. Meditation is a container of, deep inner work. So, I feel honored to be invited here to share with you a little bit about meditation. I'm going to be answering 5 of what I feel are the most asked questions around meditation, or at least asked to me. So, I hope you enjoy this podcast. The first question I'm going to answer on meditation is, how do I know if I am in meditation? And you might be sitting in meditation, you might be doing the act of meditating or the practice of meditating, but sometimes I get asked this question of like, am I in the state of meditation? And my answer to that would be, as it says in the Bhagavad Gita, your authority is in your actions, not the results. And that always stays with me in any area of my life, including sitting in meditation. For me, my job is just to turn up in meditation, sit and do the practice, do my part, and let the practice do its work. And be unattached to the result of, am I in the state of meditation? Am I in the state of bliss? Am I in the state of oneness? That is all the mind stuff. And the moment we get into that, we come out of the present moment, we come out of the state of meditation into our heads. How long should I meditate? This is another question that I get asked a lot. And the answer to that is, as long as you possibly can sit down in meditation. So if you can just do 5 minutes, then great. That's better than no minutes in meditation. If you can do 10 minutes, then great. Then do 10 minutes. But as you are practicing, the key is to actually practice consistently. Because what I've learned is over the years, no matter in what field, and you'll find that there's a lot of parallels with the practice of meditation and the experience of life. What you learn in your meditation will start to feed you in your life. So what I've learned is small, consistent steps equals success. The formula to success is small, consistent steps. And consistent being the key words. This is where, as human beings, we generally have challenge being consistent in our practice, whether it's a yoga practice, whether it's meditation, whether it's any practice. In other words, what I'm saying is, it's a practice of discipline, and it's something that I don't think any one of us are born with as human being, and our work is to train ourselves. That doesn't sound so, shiny and sexy, but actually that's where we get the results. It's in the small, consistent steps. So the practice, the very act, the practice of meditation, showing up and sitting in meditation by itself is going to give you whatever results that it gives you. And it's going to take you on a journey of whatever terrains that you are navigating through your journey of meditation, through your practice of meditation. So how long should you meditate? I mean, if you can sit for an hour, great. That is my current practice. There was a certain period in my life when I was doing 4 hours of meditation. And you might be wondering, what time do you wake up? I used to get up at 3:30 or 4 in the morning, not because, it was a cool thing to do. It's just that my body had enough sleep. It woke me up and said, meditate. So that's what I did. And actually, I'm really glad that I did that, because there was another phase, another period of going through and going inwards and learning about myself. So whether you are sitting there for 4 hours or 1 hour or 20 minutes or 5 minutes, 5 minutes is better than 0 minutes. 5 minutes doing the meditation is better than not doing the meditation, because it's like an on-off switch. You turn up into your room, you switch on the switch, the light comes on. If you switch it off, the light goes off. It's kind of like that. So if 5 minutes is turning the switch on, so you're getting some benefit from the practice. And if that's all you can do for some time, and no matter how long that is, maybe you do that for a month or a year of just 5 minutes meditation. Think about it. Here we are at the beginning of 2023. If you don't have meditation as part of your regime or your practice or one of your practices, if you did a 5-minute meditation every day or almost every day this year is not going to just be slightly different to any other year in your life. This year is going to be significantly different than any other year in your life. Don't take my word for it. You don't have to believe me. Maybe you've just getting to know me here. Thanks to Yasmin for having me here in this podcast. Don't have to take my word for it. Go check it out. Go test it out for yourself, and reach out to me and tell me if it doesn't work. Right? And reach out to me and tell me if it does work. Reach out to Yasmin and tell us if it works. 5 minutes of meditation every day or almost every day this year will change your year completely, not slightly, completely. Go check it out. Let me know how it goes. Should I stop thinking in meditation? Is the practice of meditation me sitting down and willfully willing my thought process to stop, as in like stop thinking, mind stop thinking. Is that what I should be doing in meditation? My answer to that is no, because the mind is a thinking machine. It is going to be generating thoughts all the time. It is going to be generating suggestions to what it thinks is a problem. Even if there is no problem, it is going to be constantly generating thoughts, ideas, suggestions, so it's just doing its job. That's its job. The mind is a thinking machine, so it's going to do thinking and it's going to give you thoughts. If you're sitting in meditation trying to stop the machine thinking, well, good luck. Because the thinking machine is going to do its job and it probably is not going to stop. Right? So the practice of meditation, is, in my opinion, from my experience, is not sitting there and trying to stop meditation, trying to stop thinking rather, but rather to sit there and become aware. There's an analogy I heard from a teacher some time ago, and she said, meditation, in yoga we call it dharana and dhyana. Dhyana meaning the state of meditation. Dharana means, focus. Dharana also means, or dhyana means, close your eyes and pay attention. I remember that from what she was saying in one of her teachings, and it really stayed with me. So meditation is not close your eyes and get high. Meditation is not close your eyes and fall asleep. Meditation is not close your eyes and check out. Meditation is close your eyes and wake up. Open your eye of the mind. Start to look within, start to pay attention to what you are seeing, hearing, feeling, experiencing beyond, the physical senses, the five senses that we're given on a physical level. And it starts then open up faculties of awareness that is just not possible when we are stuck in thinking, thought and thinking, which is just kind of like, if you're listening to the audio, I'm just kind of pointing here to the head, right, the top and the bottom of the head. I mean, most of us are just living in our heads, not connected to our bodies, not connected to our hearts, and certainly then not connected to, the energy of all that is, right? And meditation is a journey of, I tend to generally teach starting with breath and body awareness, and then from there moving into awareness of, sensations, emotions, and then expanding outwards into the frequency, the energy of all it is. Because I believe our work in any spiritual teaching, and I teach yoga and train yoga teachers, I teach meditation, I'm a healer as well, and really all of those modalities point to one thing, and without sounding religious, ultimately it's to connect us to the divine, and whatever word works for you: divine, source, God, universe, love, life, divine matrix, quantum field, whatever word works for you, right? I'm not trying to tell you what that should be. So ultimately, I found from several decades of meditating, ultimately that's what it comes down to. All our suffering as human being comes from the illusion of disconnect. And the illusion of disconnect from what? Just like a device, when you plug it into the socket in the wall, it plugs into source. It's our suffering comes from our disconnect from our source. And our source, the energy that creates us, right? And again, as I said, I'm not trying to be religious. I'm talking about maybe you're listening to this, or maybe you're following Yasmin's work because you have a sense, right, from watching the signs that the moon is telling you and teaching you every day or every day of the month. I know, that's what Yasmin's, the specialist in, nature, the moon, right, the universe. What is it all telling us? It is telling us, it is directing us back to this one thing, right? From my experience, in my opinion, and also from what I've learned in spiritual texts, it is our disconnect from the divine, and it's actually us reconnecting to the divine and the divinity within us. So to me, meditation, if that's too much, that's too grandiose, you're like, oh my goodness, I need to sit down and close my eyes and connect to my divinity. It's like, don't even worry about that. Start with your breath and body connection. Pay attention to your breath, pay attention to your body, and that in and of itself will take you on a journey of reconnecting. Right? That's all you need to do. Our job is to show up. As it says in the Bhagavad Gita, your authority is in the actions, not in the results, not in the fruits of it. So our job is to turn up, do that meditation every day, even if it's just 5 minutes a day. That's awesome. What's the most powerful way to meditate? Here's another question that I get asked a lot. Is, what's the technique? Teach me the technique, the right technique, the most effective technique. And we now live in a time where there's a lot of entitlement, that everything has to be instant, right? And everything is a hack. And so meditation has to be a hack. We want the quickest, most effective meditation that is going to what? What are we supposed? Where are we trying to get to? You want the quickest, most effective meditation to what? Right? So when people ask me this question of like, what's the most effective meditation or meditation technique? The most effective meditation technique is to sit down and fucking meditate. Yeah, I swear as well. And hopefully that doesn't offend you. There's punctuation. And I had this mantra for myself some time ago when I was just so busy in my head, and life was just crazy and chaotic, and meditation's always been this container, and I've always kind of like fallen on and off the wagon, so to speak, in my journey. And my mantra to myself, and I shared this in one of my programs some years ago, to myself. I'm not saying this to you. If you want, you can adopt it. To me, whenever I kind of get into chaos, was to shut up, sit down, meditate. And maybe I should make that as a t-shirt. Shut down, sit down, meditate. Because shut shut up, sit down, meditate, not shut down. And by just this act of showing up and doing the meditation, and you're thinking, but I don't know, you haven't told me the technique yet. Great, close your eyes and pay attention to your breath. And that was I didn't go to any meditation school. Yes, I learned with some teachers and monks and all those nuns and people like that, Buddhist nuns, right? And still, the technique, as far as the technique goes, was just close your eyes and pay attention. Pay attention to what? Start with your breath. I did that for several years, where I used to sit for a couple of hours in meditation every day, nothing exciting. My legs would go numb, and my practice was just to pay attention to the movement of the breath. Probably the most boring thing, but also the most exciting thing, but also the most profound, right, thing that led me to the most profound experiences. It's in the simplicity in life where the profoundness comes through. So, start to get excited about what seems as simple, mundane things that can lead you to the most profound, to greatness that is in life. Here's another question that I get asked sometimes, or quite often these days, because people have all these amazing mythical experiences in meditation. That's not the aim. When I teach meditation, it's simply, yes, the intention of connecting to the divine. Different people have different experiences. I get a lot of empaths. People are very energetically connected, sensitive to energy, that come to my work and do the meditations that I teach. And a lot of times people, especially if they're brand new to this, or haven't really don't have a context for this, they say, oh my goodness, that was scary. I went into meditation and I saw this and I felt that and I experienced that and I heard this, right? They basically got in contact with some form of divinity, right? And whatever you want to call that. And should I be scared is the question, and the answer is probably no, right? Because if you're connecting to the highest love, if you're connecting, and that's the intention in the meditations I teach anyway. There's many different meditations out there. There's many different intentions. But when you're connecting to the highest love, the highest intelligence, right, the divine itself, then there's nothing safer than that, right? You don't have to worry. You're completely contained, taken care of, guided, protected, safe, loved, enough, not abandoned, not alone, completely connected, completely one with, right? And that's what we come back to when you hold that intention in your meditation. And even if you don't, the short answer is that you don't have to be afraid, you don't have to be worried, but simply trust that you are taken care of, you are loved, that you are safe, because that is the truth of who we are. So go forth and take the steps and enjoy your journey of meditation. So I hope you enjoyed that. This brings us to the end of this podcast. I've certainly enjoyed spending this last whatever minutes with you. Yasmin, thank you so much for your generosity, for inviting me here right to the center of your community and being able to share something about meditation. I hope what I've shared with you here is going to help you in your journey. Speaking of meditation, one of the reasons Yasmin invited me, and she probably is going to tell you at some point somewhere here in this podcast, that I'm running a meditation challenge right now, and it's about to end in just about 7 or so days from now. And I've got a masterclass coming up this evening, actually, from 20th to the 22nd of February. So you can come and join me at 6:30 p.m. UK time. There will be recordings. And also next weekend, speaking of meditation and awaken, I'm going to be leading my Awaken program. So somewhere here on this page, there'll be a link that Yasmin's very kindly offered to share with you guys. So check out the links, or come and follow on my social. It's at Dylan Ayaloo on Instagram and Facebook, or dylanayaloo.com should just lead you to most of the other things that I'm doing. And there should be some links, somewhere here on this page for the meditation challenge, the free meditation challenge, which is ending soon. The masterclass, which is part of the challenge. I'm teaching a 3-part masterclass around, giving you context and understanding around what happens in meditation, why, and the workings of the mind and inner work, and how you actually heal your life and manifest the kind of life that you want. So these teachings are from my paid Awaken program, which is next weekend, 3rd to 5th of March. But I'll be sharing some of those teachings for free in the Awaken Masterclass. So hopefully you can join me. Otherwise, I look forward to the privilege of coming back, hopefully to serve you on another topic here, either in this podcast or collaborating with Yasmin. Yasmin, thank you so much for having me. And if you're listening to this, thank you for making it through all the way to the end. And If it's useful to you, then do share it with someone. Give Yasmin a like, a love heart, a comment, and give me a follow as well. And I'd love to hear from you. Thank you, and I look forward to our paths crossing soon.